All right, I'm all fucked up. My claps were fucked up. I'm like, yo, where's my claps, man? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of William versus the World. Appreciate you guys for being here. Once again, let's all take a moment to celebrate the gift and continue our musical journey together here on another episode of William versus the World. If this is your first time watching, please share the feed. Please share the feed. Y'all know how we roll. Um, this actually really helps the band. It helps us buy strings. It helps us buy drumsticks. When you guys share the feed, people send us stars, people subscribe, and the live stream continues to grow. So I really appreciate y'all for understanding this concept. It really does help. So sharing the feed to groups, sharing the feed to other musical communities and people that are learning about the music industry and having conversations about that, especially DIY or independent artists, definitely share this out. Thank you for hosting. Whether you're watching from Twitch or YouTube or one of the other many places that we broadcast to throughout the week on the internet, we appreciate you being here and just simply sharing the feed and or like sharing it to your stories. It's just one of the more powerful things that you can do just to help us in the band and to help us continue doing these live streams. Thank you so much. Today and each weekday, we are learning, we're chatting, we are examining the top industry stories and news, technology, and social media, all things music industry. Starting the day is already difficult in most of y'all lives. You guys got a lot of stuff going on, so thank you for being here again. This is the only music and news show by a band. We're a band. We're a hard rock and heavy metal band out of Manchester, New Hampshire, and this is the only live stream presented by a band. I mean, there are a lot of music streams and influencers and podcasters that have conversations about the music industry, but there aren't many independent, local, and regional metal bands or hard rock bands that are doing this each day, every week, consistently for years at a time. And we are one of the only places that talk about the music industry, and we stream each day. And this stream is presented to you by musicians, but not just musicians like celebrities or people in the headlines, musicians like Melissa. This is the only interactive stream and chat on the internet where together we read, we dive deep, we cross reference, we compare, we utilize the full power of the internet each day to discover, examine, unpack, and unlock a common sense approach visiting each corner of the music industry. So, welcome to another episode of William versus the World, and you know I wasn't going to let it down. Okay, so I'm sure everybody, if you're in New England, you already know the big story. Um, I'm not going to do a Capulet Fest story today. Um, Today, I believe, is the first day of the show. So, I need to make it perfectly clear that before we do a story on Capulet Fest, there are a lot of people, as we'll read here in a minute, there are a lot of people here that are really angry already, and there are a lot of bands nationally, regionally, um, who are already frustrated with this situation. So I don't want to make matters worse, and try to cover a story that isn't fully developed yet, right? all the pieces haven't materialized. I don't want to be like those other pages on the internet that get all excited, you know, and dramatic and start pumping more theater into an already confusing and evolving situation. So what I will say though, I do have some opinions about festivals in New England. You guys know how we addressed some of the large festivals throughout the past few years and our opinions on them. Of course, we're very lucky and excited to be a part of a very healthy festival, Rockfest, this year, so we know it can be done. We are also on our third year at our humble, modest, local, growing, tiny gathering called Swarmy Fest. But more on that and why that plays a part into the Capulet Fest theater. So, if you're not familiar with Capulet Fest and the story that is emerging, as it states here, Capulet Fest is advertising that they are the premier. Capulet Fest is the premier New England rock festival. That's what they're saying. So, from what I understand, Capulet Fest is fairly new. I think this is only the second one. Any bands that have played there or are playing there have more information on that. If you happen to be in the audience, then maybe you can educate us on that. But they host the festival. They host a festival in Connecticut, which is a place that Sepsis plays a lot. So we play in Connecticut a lot. So when I learned about Capulet Fest, I was really surprised. I was surprised to find where it was. So I was looking up the info here, and it's festival info. So they're at 0 days, 0 hours. And originally the festival was, I guess, at Thompson Speedway. And throughout the week, I don't know what facts there are that truly fell through, but now it is being hosted by the Webster in Hartford, Connecticut. So it's 3 days of rock, 55 bands on 2 stages. Get ready to have your mind blown at a 3-day rock festival. 50 plus bands across 2 electrifying stages. Capulet Fest is the ultimate dream come true for every die-hard rock fan. That may not be true for some of the comments that I'll be reading shortly. I don't know if Capulet Fest is the ultimate dream come true, or if that is artificial intelligence writing this advertisement. Hey, look, originally it was at Thompson Speedway, Motorsports Park. They put out a social media post yesterday saying that they were no longer hosting the festival. So it's a large festival with bands and vendors. Let me check out the vendors. Here's the vendor application. Fill out the vendor application below to become a vendor at Capulet Fest 2024. Defy the stars, it says. There will be 2 vending areas, an outdoor section, and a limited indoor. And here is some of the vending packages. Outdoor commercial artisan 10 by 10 booth space is 400. 10 by 50 is 600. Booth spaces indoor 450. And then you have add-ons like corner booths, extra day vendor passes. And that's how you sign up to become a vendor. Pretty straightforward stuff. And then you get to the lodging. And originally they were doing, camping at the Speedway. And I guess, apparently that's not going to be available anymore. But I just wanted to show you, their website. And this is the Capulet Homies, I guess. Fill out the application before to be a part of Capulet Fest 2024. Have you always dreamed of participating in a festival in a behind-the-scenes role? Do you feel like being a street team member is part of your DNA? When you hear about a concert, do you just have to tell everyone about it? Do you like cool perks and merch? Then you are the kind of homie we are looking for. Come be a part of the sickest, raddest, and coolest, most freaking awesome rock festival in the Northeast. And then you get to send them your email address. I'm going to look on their news just to see if there's anything that they have put up about if they've changed anything on the lineup news. I know there's several bands that have dropped out, and I'll get a list of those later on. So here's the deal, guys. People are upset that they had to change the venue. I totally understand that. I just want to go back and start from the beginning of where they started to run into some issues. And it was this post was, most people woke up to this post here. Capulet Fest, please everyone remain calm. We love you. And that was yesterday. So for the last 24 hours, they've been trying to get this thing back on course. And before we do a story on it or look more into it, for those of you that aren't familiar with the festivals in New England, I always have to ask some questions when I see these festivals start up in New England. And my first question is, where are the hosts and where are the people that are hosting the festivals and the main players and organizers in the festival? Are they from New England? That's always the thing. When you advertise yourself as the premier New England rock festival, you're using the New England title. That's our neighborhood. That's our backyard. And, New England's pretty tight. No matter what kind of music you like or who you get along with, as far as your neighbors, everyone knows each other in New England, And the surprising thing always to us in Sepsis is when we haven't heard of a large festival with hard rock and heavy metal in New England. Not because it has anything to do with us, but just because that's how nosy we are. So when there's a festival, when there's a hard rock or heavy metal festival that comes in, it's always interesting to us when we don't know about it, because festivals have to advertise on social media. New Hampshire and New England is really small, and all the bands in New England all know each other. We all play at the same venues. We all work with the same promoters. So when I learned that Capulet Fest was advertising itself as the premier New England rock festival, I thought that that was weird because none of my promoter friends and none of the people that I've been making music with for the last 15 years are involved in it. It doesn't, I'm not entitled. I just think it's interesting that this is the premier rock festival, and a lot of the larger premier bands from New England aren't on this festival. No disrespect to the Connecticut and New England bands that did get onto this. One of the first things that I noticed when I saw Capulet Fest is there weren't enough Connecticut bands on it. It was strange to me how they have a Connecticut festival, a New England festival, and there just wasn't enough New England talent. There wasn't enough promoters from New England and from Connecticut involved in this thing, in my opinion, to have this go right. It's their second time ever doing Capulet Fest, and they went from going to the Webster, which is, you guys know the Webster. I don't think they hold more than 700 people, 1,000 people. I don't even know. I can't even say. Somebody could tell me in the comments or whatever. But the Webster doesn't hold many people. So the idea of locating a large festival from Thompson Speedway to Webster seems really difficult. But my original concern is if you have a smaller show, like I wouldn't want to have Swarmy Fest, and do Swarmy Fest. I could pack a room full of 500 and then try to jump up to 10,000 people. I think that that's a massive undertaking. So the fact that there's not enough recognizable New England talent in a premier New England rock festival, there's not enough experienced New England promoters that are involved in this. And I don't see any of the big bands like Casting Shadows, or you don't see like Dead by Wednesday on this. You should see there should be larger New England bands that are on Capulet Fest. And I wondered why, we didn't see any Inverter. We didn't see any. I mean, there's some really hard hitting bands out towards Connecticut, and I start to think, of Scarecrow Hill and Patient O, and like there's just so many premier big New England bands. And when I didn't see them on Capulet Fest, I was like, that's really weird to me. How are you going to have a Connecticut show without the big Connecticut bands? That's strange. I don't know. So that was it. And so I thought that was a strange way to start off the conversation, with them running into problems, telling everybody to remain calm and that they love them. I found that was a strange thing. So we'll just read a couple comments. So they started off yesterday reminding everybody, please remain calm, that all the people that spent money here were loved. Hold on, I gotta grab my coffee. Yo, we smoking? It's different. It's different. I don't hate it. So, but my whole thing is too, like, I don't want to, like, they're still doing this show today, guys. So I just want to make it clear, I'm not going to badmouth this event, even though it's easy to. I'm not going to talk shit about Capulet Fest. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that that's fair to the people that are trying to get the event done today. There are still people that bought tickets. There are still people that are trying to play their music today. I know some bands are mad at other bands for continuing to play. Fans are mad at other fans for continuing to go. some people want to boycott the event. I understand that there's a lot of passion behind it. So I'm just gonna read a couple comments and we'll see how the day goes. They got 3 days to get this right. And who knows? I'm not defending them, but maybe they'll be able to recover. Like, what if everybody has a great time today and they refund everybody and they learn their lesson and they're able to bounce back? And the reason why I say that is because all of you guys that are mad right now and being mean and furious, as well as you should be, you might have the right to be, but a lot of you guys that talk shit about these festivals is the same people that have no problem buying onto this stuff initially. A lot of you guys that don't like these big festivals, you're the same people that will spend money to get on them and play on the stage. So you do have a justifiable reason when you do buy onto these big shows and they don't work out as advertised. You absolutely have the rhyme and reason to be furious. There's no question. But I feel like the people that talk shit about Blue Ridge a lot of times are the same people that would spend the money to be a part of it the following year. I've been telling you guys that Blue Ridge was a terrible idea for years and years. I don't expect people to listen to me, but the same list of bad actors every year go back to Blue Ridge. No, every year there'd be a terrible story about it, and the same people go back and buy onto the show. The same bands. You guys are funny. So I just want to let's get the response. So Capulet Fest yesterday, around this time, things were heating up, and they told everybody, please, everyone, remain calm. And then in another professional announcement, they said that they love you, which I thought was bizarre. 452 comments. We're not going to do all of them. Nasty promotions are really funny. They said fucking panic mode. What is going on? Look at this. And right after the amount of Blue Ridge Rock Festival survivors in this thread. Yo, Lexi, this is crazy. Oh my goodness. Good Lord, please don't let it be at the Webster. Well, that's where it is. Wow. Here's something different. This is Dylan. Dylan says, to everyone freaking out in the comments, I understand what you guys are frustrated about, and whatever happened, it sounds like it's not good for last minute changes. But I assume whatever has happened isn't easy to deal with and will be able to adjust within 36 hours of the start of this festival. None of us will know what it's like unless we schedule one ourselves. I don't think most people have the ability to schedule and work a festival. I appreciate you, Dylan, but that it's hard to do. I'm pretty sure that's what the captain of the Titanic said when they hit the iceberg. Yo, they said, "Hang on, I love you." That's tough. Is it cold? Is it cold in here? I'm like cold in this motherfucker, man. Hey everyone, I'll be volunteering with Heart Support this weekend. I hope maybe that's a band or something. Please make sure to stop by and say hi. Another thing is I noticed a lot of the vendors weren't from Connecticut either, which I thought was strange. This is something from Sepsis. This is us. New England events and events in our neighborhoods and backyards always work best organized by our neighbors in New England, rock and metal musicians and professionals from the area. We hope to see more Connecticut musicians and New England admins working events like this. A tighter focus on people in bands that work and live here. Hopefully this show can recover so the bands and fans don't lose out. Yeah. Did anybody buy onto this? Then the lady comes in here and says that we were being negative, which I thought was strange. Fortress Radio agreed with us, which I appreciate that. Yeah. I was like, we weren't being negative. We were trying to tell you that it's best to book with the neighbors that work here. Then they do this whole thing. I think this was bad for them to do this whole teasing thing throughout the hours of the day. I feel like they should have just got it together. Um, and they still haven't changed the address of where the show was going to be. So right now, even on the intro, it still says that they're at Thompson Speedway. No one has changed that. You know, like no one's like they don't have a social media person to come in and change that. That's weird, right? That should be one of those things. Look at Rain. Let us play. So, and then here, 20 hours ago now, so about noon yesterday, they announced we're moving Capulet Fest to the Webster this weekend. Don't freak out. The lineup is coming today. This guy seems a little frustrated. He says, this solution is about unacceptable as they come. This is not the experience I or many others have signed up for. The Webster cannot accommodate for this type of event at all. I get that things happen, but pulling this shit last minute with no transparency is so disrespectful. I feel for all of the tech crews, bands, and vendors for having to deal with this farce. I was so stoked to have an actual camping music festival close to home. This is BS. Do it right or don't do it at all. That's strong. Look, I'm not about to disagree with that dude. It seems like he spent money. Like I said, I didn't spend money on camping tickets. I'm just watching this whole thing. We have a lot of shows in Connecticut. It's interesting because Connecticut is like the one place in New England you do not want to fuck with, as far as like music, independent music, hard rock, and metal. You don't fuck with Connecticut. Connecticut's got one of the healthiest, boldest, robust scenes in America as far as hard rock and heavy metal. Woo. This is interesting. Yvonne says this was never anywhere near the level of Blue Ridge. It never had the size. Everyone expecting a speedway experience would have sadly been disappointed. I went last year on Sunday when they threw Amberlin inside because of weather and changed their set time. There were less than 100 people, I would say. Would have been great at the Webster. My jaw hit the ground when I pulled into the parking lot and saw maybe 50 cars. I don't know how they managed to afford it last year. I mean, that's wildin'. That's wildin'. I gotta get a sweatshirt, man. I'm really cold. I don't know why. I do know how to handle this though. That's crazy. What you guys talking about? What do you guys think about all this, anyways? What do you guys think about this stuff? Hey, what up, Vox and Sticks in the building? What up, what up, what up? Hey, what's up? What's going on? Rob's in here, Han's in here. It's nice to see the Vox in here. Gio's in here. Yo, cool. Good morning, guys. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Nice jacket, right? Yeah, we got to get Geo one of these. So, what do you guys think? Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on it today because I feel like there's so much more coming on this. And, the Honeycomb Hideout, we're going to do a full Capulet Fest breakdown. hmm Let's see. Let's just read a couple more, and we'll let these guys go. And hey, look, I'm not gonna be mouthy about this. I'm not gonna be judgmental about this because I know that there's a lot of people still working hard, and I know there's people up there that I care about. Also, whether I know them or not, um, they're fans of hard rock, independent music. They're fans of the metal scene, and they're fans of live music, and they're still they're still drawing value um, to Connecticut and the tough neighborhood of the Webster. Hopefully, nobody gets robbed or stabbed or something. It's a tough neighborhood. I don't know if you guys ever have ever been there before, but good luck. So here I will read one more. The Webster is not a festival location. This is what Sean says. Good luck fitting that many people into a tiny venue. How will food be handled? Number two, he says, how do you plan on accommodating parking or people that paid for VIP parking? I think, Sean, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. I think I'd be surprised if you don't see some lawsuits come out of this. I really I mean, I hope not, but I don't see this thing going. I don't see this thing coming to completion without attorney generals and all that other stuff. That's my guess. People don't leave good reviews, you know what I mean? What about people that already booked accommodations near Thompson? That's not exactly a close drive. He's got a point. There are other events scheduled at the Webster already. I didn't know that. Those ticket prices for an overcrowded, hot event at the Webster, ouch. I didn't think about the prices. It's not the same thing trying to have an outdoor festival in an indoor cramped hot venue. This stinks. Wow. Well, I'm sorry that this person, I don't even want to go anymore. Everyone I wanted to see dropped. Can you please do what Mass is for Lovers did last year and refund everyone, and whoever still wants to go, just purchase new tickets? That's not a terrible idea. I don't know. Look, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. A lot of the time these guys they take all the ticket money up front, and then they go buy sponsors, and then they go buy advertisements and buddies and pals and partners. So I wouldn't be surprised if they spent a lot of this ticket money on other things producing the show. I honestly, it's a mistake that a lot of young festivals make. They have everybody buy into the hype. They get the pre-sale ticket money, and then they take the pre-sale ticket money and start spending it and playing with it to complete the event. It's a well-known growth hack, you know. What kind of Dunkins am I drinking today? I only get two kinds, and my I'll let my Dunkins specialist and technician explain it.
Should I just say your order?
Sure.
He gets a large ice, mocha caramel, regular cream, regular sugar. And if you try that blend for yourself, you will find that it tastes like a Rolo. You're welcome.
Yeah, so that's a trademarked Lexi Swarm flavor called the Rolo, and you can only get that if you work here at Sepsis LLC. I'm done. We're not going to talk about Capulet anymore. Let's just wish. Let's hope. I know everybody thought I was going to come up and smear him. No, 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 no. Let's hope this goes well. Let's hope this goes well. Because if it doesn't, we're going to talk about it. That, you know what I'm saying? That it's so, you know what I mean? So like we're giving them a chance. They've got 3 days to get this right. Why not? You know how many chances people have given me? We all need a chance. What if this thing works out and they're able to recover, and years down the road, they learn from this, and this really is the premier New England rock festival that is the ignition key for many New England bands in the future. Maybe they learn from this big time. Regardless, I'm giving them a chance because I'm hoping no matter what happens, I'm hoping the owners of Capulet Fest will join us on an episode of the Honeycomb Hideout, and we could talk through it. That's what I'm hoping. Regardless of whatever happens, if it's a success, somebody tag Capulet Fest. If Capulet Fest is a success, then we'll be here to cover it. You guys know us. We'll be here as an authenticator. We have nearly 50,000 followers right here on this page, and we go live every single day, and we will proudly speak on behalf of a successful turnaround. And likewise, everybody, whether you like the band or our music or not, a lot of people check in here to get the news and figure out what's going on in New England in hard rock and heavy metal. So we're one of the only and few hard rock and heavy metal podcasts and live streaming pages that we have in New England at all. There are no hard rock and heavy metal streamers that are streaming or podcasting about hard rock and heavy metal as much as we do, as frequently as we do, as consistently as we have for the last 7 years. We're known for doing this. So believe me, I would love to promote to all the bands in New England. I would love to promote to all the future sponsors. I would love to prove that this thing could get turned around, and that maybe there's something to learn from this, and a greater beauty and value that could be talked about in Connecticut and in hard rock and heavy metal. I'm fighting personally. The reason why I'm fighting for New England bands and bands from Connecticut. No disrespect. I don't care about any of them other bands or what they're doing. What my greatest concern and my greatest investment is in my neighborhood and in venues and with bands that I play with. So I play in Connecticut a lot. A lot of our fans are from Connecticut. I respect and love the Connecticut music scene, and I want to do anything I can to help protect, preserve, and cover it in a transparent and an honest way. I feel like this is the page that has the ability to protect and preserve the community ongoing. And that's because we've been a band and we've been playing on stages and online for nearly 15 years. So that's it. That's it. This last one they put up was 2 hours ago, Lex. They said they have a fenced-in area at site at the Webster, VIP parking, priority, and then beyond the gate, general admission. There'll be space for RVs. I mean, this was supposed to be a camping trip. It's like camping in the hood. You know what I mean? It's like camping at Jewel. Like, we don't want people to camp at Swarmy Fest. You might get shanked. You know.
I want you to go to a hotel.
Right. We want you to go to a safe.
Environment.
Right. If you've traveled and need a place to stay, we do have the ability to get you a room at our hotel partner at Wellsworth. Yeah, imagine all of us getting in bed with the people at Capulet Fest. No, I want them to snuggle up with me in the parking lot at the Webster. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. Send an email to Capulet because I'm sure they're answering them. Do you think they're really answering emails right now? Like, be for real. Why would you say that? Joe, holy shit, my homie Brian Reed is in there. Oh, shit, he's going off. So, Nasty Promotions says, an absolute travesty. Oh, my God. This is crazy. I honestly, this is 2 hours ago. I'm gonna still give him a little bit of time to get this right. But see, I know like Brian. Brian's from Devil's Hop Yard. He's you know what I'm saying? That's a Connecticut band. This is what he says. He's the lead singer of Devil's Hop Yard. He says, "This sucks. I'm out. I'm sorry I invited people to like this festival. You suck. Capulet Fest, give them their money back." Damn. Now look, now Devil's Hop Yard's from Connecticut. How come there are no big Connecticut bands on this bill? So when I hear a lead singer from a Connecticut band say, "This sucks, I'm out," and then he apologizes to his own friends, and then says in all caps, "You suck, Capulet, give them their money back." This is a lead singer of a Connecticut band. I gotta respect that. Imagine if this was a Manchester festival that we... Hold on. Think about it. It's a Manchester hard rock heavy metal festival that we're not on, and they're ripping off all of our neighbors and bands. Like, I'm going in. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but this is the illustration. This is how people feel. Sandra says, issue refunds to those who want them. And look, I'm smiling because I'm uncomfortable. I'm not smiling because it makes me happy. This is a nervous, like, laughter. You know what I mean? This is like, I'm putting myself in other people's shoes. I'm pretending I'm the event coordinator. I'm ripping dreadlocks out. I'm getting gray hair. Just think about the shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, wait a minute. What if I was playing this and I was one of the bands? Yo, and what if I invested my time into this? My uncle was flying in. I ordered a hotel. Like, this is serious. The reason why I can think about this like this is because we're going to a festival next month, and think of how much they have to do to make sure that things go right. This is not an easy thing to do. It's also making me paranoid about everything we've ever done. Wow, that's crazy. We were looking forward to being outside, enjoying the food trucks. We were excited about the vendors. This is clearly not even close to the festival experience we were expecting and paid for. That's another thing. I started looking up the vendors. Like, there was a lack of vendors from Connecticut. There was a lack of vendors from New England. There's a lack of bands, and there's a lack of vendors, and there's a lack of New England professionals on this bill. Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. Paige is like, who gets RV spots? What is it? First come, first serve? 10? At what point I would just make the decision to not let camping be an option and just make refunds on that one. I assume because people bought tickets for camping, they don't want to refund people. I mean, that's what I'm getting out from that. Damn, this one girl says, "Yo, I was carpooling with friends, so I didn't buy a parking pass. Am I just shit out of luck now cuz for no with no parking?"
That's a genuine
Amy says, "There's a lot. I know. You know what? I'm just gonna say it right now. Yo, the females in here are pissed. Like some of the dudes are like, oh, whatever, man. But like the girls in here, I'm serious. Lexi made a good point, and she said it. I didn't. She said a lot of the girls are the ones that buy the tickets and do the hotel rooms and do all the hospitality stuff. A lot of the guys just throw on a T-shirt and get a 6 pack of beer. I do understand what you mean by that. I do get it. I see it. I see that. The ladies in here are rip shit. I get it. You know, because you want to look nice. You're going to the party. You're going to you know, you're getting ready for a camping trip. You put a lot of money into it.
And also for women,
Shit is wildin'.
appearance is everything.
It is.
So if there is a woman out there that's not looking up to par, it's just gonna be the tall.
I think it has to do with like preparation. You know what I mean? Knowing where your car is, knowing where your property is. It's like it's a sense of security. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to throw this one out there, Amy says. That's kind of embarrassing to brag about, the parking lot. That is very unsafe area where I've always worried about my vehicle when I go to shows. She said she's always worried about her vehicle there when she goes to the shows at the Webster. Now you want people to stay overnight in an RV park wherever they can find space? Honestly, you should have considered canceling the festival and just calling it a day. Wow.
That seems very reasonable.
Tiffany says, you forgot to include the hundreds of other people. Good luck walking to the venue from miles away after searching hours for street parking. If you get robbed, shot, or your car broken into, Capulet Fest is not responsible. Enjoy the show. We hope we made you proud. Damn. That's what Tiffany said. Nick goes on to say, don't worry, guys. If you need a hotel room, we can still get you one an hour away from the venue. Brandon says, quote, we have a fenced-in area, end of quote. You mean the one that's always fenced in? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Brandon's funny. Come on, Brandon. That shit was funny. I'm only laughing because this is fucking nuts. Everybody knows it's crazy. Holy shit. I haven't even been in the chat. This is so fucked up. What do you guys? I don't even know what to say. Yo, Sean goes, it seems like these festivals are a complete disaster. My God. You know, when you have lead singers from Connecticut bands apologizing to their friends for that speaks whole new volumes, no pun intended. Oh my God. It's like I want to close my eyes today. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. My God. Oh my goodness. I think I'm just gonna leave this at that for now. Let's leave these people alone. I hope that things work out for these guys. You got guys here saying you need to give up. Your grift is falling apart. The fenced-in parking lot is not going to hold. They should have advertised the festival in advance. Not we. The Webster has a fenced in area. You guys barely have anything. Oh my gosh. Great post. Almost 9 a.m. for people traveling 5 hours or more away. Oh my God. This is fucking nuts. If it wasn't this, if I wasn't from New England and I wasn't in a metal band and I didn't play all the time in Connecticut, this would be a different thing. But it's different when you know everybody, and it's like, whoa, like I'm blown away that I just, if you didn't do your homework on Connecticut musicians, if you didn't do your homework on musicians in the music community in Connecticut, if you thought that you could get away with fucking up a music festival, don't try this shit in Connecticut. They are gonna fucking go crazy on you. You don't fuck with Connecticut musicians. I'm gonna end it. I hope the best for them. I do. I hope the best for them. We'll take another look at it. We'll take another look at it soon. Not today. Let's let these people get through it. I don't want to sit here and just, make a mockery or it's not in my virtue to get off on people being upset. I think that it's unfortunate. I do, and you have to ask yourself with Blue Ridge, with the Capulet stuff, is this the best that we can do? Is this the best we can do for hard rock and heavy metal? I know live entertainment and shows have been difficult in the past 4 years, but it is Capulet, with all due respect, this is only their second time trying to do this. Is that the best they could do? And why aren't there more Connecticut vendors, and why aren't there more New England representatives on Capulet Fest? Is that the best you could do? Why isn't there? I want to know why there aren't the top Connecticut hard rock and heavy metal bands. Were they invited on that bill? And if they weren't, why? Are they too experienced? Are they going to call you out on something? It just, more questions start to surface, and we'll be asking them, I'm sure, in the future. I'm sorry to everybody that got screwed over that situation, and I hope you get a refund. Damn. Meta will now enable influencers to create AI versions of themselves. It's been in development for a while, and today Meta is launching the first stage of its AI Studio platform, which will enable creators on Instagram to build AI versions of themselves that can interact with fans via DM. All you can see in this example, Meta's custom AI bots currently in beta and limited testing with selected creators will be able to answer questions in the style of that account. The AI bot will have a stars icon on the message tab, signaling that it's a bot. Oh, gosh. Why have social media to interact with people if you're just going to hire a robot to interact with people? It's like, that's a strange thing, man. That's a very, very, very strange thing. Such a strange thing to me. All right. whatever. So it should be clear to all of you that you're not talking to the actual person or account holder. But then again, people are fucking stupid. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg made the announcement during an interview with YouTube Kane Stutter, in which he also discussed various elements of Meta's broader AI plans. Most of Zuck's comments are fairly vague and broad-reaching, with a few indicators of its coming AI updates, improved translation, hologram-like projections of real people in VR. But the main announcement is the launch of live testing of AI Studio with selected IG creators in the US. Zuckerberg also says that AI Studio will enable creators to build an AI agent version of themselves to interact with their community. The process, built into Instagram, which app researcher Alessandro Paluzzi uncovered recently, will provide various prompts and tools to generate these AI bot variations. The main focus, or the simple use case, according to Zuckerberg, is to answer fact-based queries, with the more challenging element coming in answers that are more creative and replicate the style of the creator. Zuckerberg says that creators will have the freedom to train their bots on different aspects of their social media presence. And through this, that should enable them to generate more lifelike replicas of themselves. Yet, as noted, Meta also doesn't want to trick people into thinking they're engaging with real people. Zuckerberg noted that they're still working on the AI disclosure elements, but there are various signifiers in stream. The bigger question that I have, the author, why? Why would people want to engage with a bot that sounds like a real person when they're not actually engaging with the human at all? That's what I said originally, but what the fuck do I know? People are fucking stupid. And people do whatever makes them happy. People do whatever makes them feel good. People don't give a fuck if it's real or fake. People just want to feel good. This is the new time. 11 o'clock every day, weekdays. I won't be back until Monday. But that gives us time to process. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. There's a lot going on in the sepsis world. New music videos, of course. I know. We still got the big show with Rockfest, and then we have some more bigger shows. Well, not bigger, but we still have some big shows coming up throughout the year, and some surprises also. So stay tuned. And I think you guys will be hanging out with the girls on Sunday for Swarm TV. But I'll see you guys next Monday for another awesome episode of William versus the World. Music industry news, social media, and technology every day now at 11 p.m. At 11, like almost 11 p.m., 11 a.m., 11 a.m. I'm sorry.